Why are you holding a national demonstration against Trump's state visit?
We know that roughly 70% of the country dislike Donald Trump. And I think that there is a huge amount of opposition to Keir Starmer's approach of sucking up to him. There's a huge amount of opposition to honoring him with another second unprecedented state visit banquet with the king. The thought of him feasting on swan steak and caviar with the king while Palestinians are starving to death. The moral outrage in this country is enormous, and we are holding this protest in order to give a voice to that huge swell of anger and outrage. I think Trump represents everything that this nation actually stands against and should stand against. Donald Trump is a selfish bully with absolutely no morals.
Do you think it will almost embolden the sort of right-wing rise of right-wing politics we're seeing in the UK?
Yeah, absolutely. We're seeing a really dangerous time in our politics here in the UK. And a lot of the far right movements that we're seeing growing on our streets here in the UK are being funded by the same US money that funded the Trump campaign as well. So these movements are totally internationally linked up. The debates around the flag here in the UK, that's imported directly from America. And the racist narratives that are being used about migrants at the moment, in particular, the most dangerous one of all, which is that migrants are being falsely presented as a sexual threat to British women and children, that is imported directly from the United States as well.
Do you have any indication of how many people might be there protesting Trump?
It's always hard to call the numbers, but what we've seen, I think, over the last several months is a huge movement of people coming out again and again to stand up against the genocide of Palestinians, of people coming out, huge discontent with the way politics is being handled up and down the country, a wide and broad range of anger in this country at how this Labour government supposedly is actually failing to live up to the principles that we elected them to uphold and the change that we were supposed to see. We're seeing a government instead that's too weak to stand up to the far right. The media story at the moment is all about 200 people who show up to chant racist slogans outside an asylum hotel, not 20,000 people who show up week in, week out for Palestine. And so on the day when Trump is here, our demonstration will be front page news. Our demonstration will be what the media is talking about. And we can make that story about a pushback, not just against Trump himself, but against this far right politics of hatred, the same racist hatred that is seen against asylum seekers, that is also the same racism that justifies a genocide of Palestinians. We can make our voices heard against Donald Trump if we come out in our thousands and our tens of thousands and even our hundreds of thousands in a way that we are being ignored and we are not being reflected in our media and our political conversation as we raise our voice in anger at everything else that is going on.
Can we expect a huge inflatable baby Trump on the streets of London again, or some sort of similar stunt?
I can neither confirm nor deny whether the baby will be making another appearance. What I would say is that in many ways, this is a very different time to the first Donald Trump presidency. In many ways, it's a much darker time. So our protest should reflect that more serious situation that we're in. But I can promise that we've got a lot of creative folks who are involved with this demonstration, because it's one of the things that us Brits do best in terms of poking holes in the fragile egos of these politicians. So there will be some things to look out for. Keep your eyes on the skies, although I can't necessarily promise that you'll see a rerun of last year. We're also looking to the future and building something new.